Hi there. Welcome to another presentation of the Globe Sound Healing Conference. Now we have Zeenat Dawala. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Zeenat is a renowned energy healer, spiritual artist, and a light language channel dedicated to helping individuals align with higher frequencies and step into energetic sovereignty. As the founder of Soul Search, she merges ancient wisdom with modern vibrational healing, guiding others to release energetic blocks and attune to their highest potential. Through light language, sacred geometry grids, and soul search sounds, Zeenat offers powerful tools that recalibrate energy fields, activate deep healing, and elevate consciousness. Working as a multidimensional conduit, she collaborates with higher dimensional beings and divine intelligence, bringing forth encoded sound frequencies, sacred instructions, and quantum blueprints that initiate profound vibrational shifts. At the summit, she's invites you to experience the harmonic convergence of sound, light, and frequency medicine, unlocking pathways to deep healing, protection, and manifestation. Step into a paradigm of energy alignment, vibrational expansion, and divine flow. What have you been up to lately?
I am right now working on something called as the blueprint, which is for individuals based on their handprint. And so I take the handprint of the person and I download sacred geometry on the hand and I bring in the light codes with color. I use different mediums to bring in the color. So that's what I've been up to lately. And I am also looking at various transmissions based on the energy of this month and the forthcoming months. So I have been working with a lot of new moon and full moon energies, also been working with the eclipse energy, so and the equinox. So it's a fully packed month. And also I am having a new beginning in life. So I'm relocating as we speak. Packing is going on in my house at this moment. So yes, I've been a little busy.
Cool. Where are you moving to?
I'm moving to Portugal.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yes.
Cool. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's the big question. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do to help people on the planet?
So the first thought that came was to give away the whole money and use it for the highest good. And then when I thought about that same question once again, as you asked me, I think my answer would be that I would invest in creating awareness. I would invest in creating spaces where people can come and upgrade themselves. Because the root cause of all unhappiness is the desire, as Gautam Buddha has mentioned. I feel that what he was trying to tell people was that it is not about the desire, it is the way you want to create that desire, is the unhappiness to it. And what I have been working is to bring in a school, and perhaps that is what I will be doing, to open up various kind of schools and chambers to heal people of whatever they are going through, because no matter how much money I will give them, they might know how to lose it even faster. But if they have balanced themselves and they have vibrationally raised their frequency, I think they will be able to manifest the money that they desire on their own without my support or anybody else's support. And my work has been mostly about empowerment, and I make tools that are empowering people, and I think that is what is most required, and perhaps that's what I will do with all the money I have in the world.
I love it. Excellent. Excellent. Just
Thank you.
excellent. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. So tell us about yourself. So you do light language, and how did this come about?
I have so my life journey is about as kids, you grow up. I was not academically very superior, I didn't have too much of academics nuances within me, and so I was a different child for my parents. And I grew up in a standard way where children are with special needs looked at they don't even know that that exists. And similar to that, it was my upbringing too. I grew up as an adult to become a head of marketing and sales in various big corporations of India and global. And I have worked with people across the world. And I was in marketing for almost 15 to 16 years of my life. And during the phase of being in the corporate is when I had also started working on myself, because I realized in 2008 that if this is the way I am living and it's not giving me any new results, I need to change the way I am working. And 2008 is when I started very slowly and steadily working on myself. And in 2015 is when I stopped the corporate work. And my boss told me that whether it's his way or the highway, and I decided to take the highway.
Now you're going for the magic carpet.
I guess. Till then, I was not aware of my own potentials in the alternative existence. And I decided that I will just heal myself, because that was one of the tasks that I put myself up to. And when people prior to that also would meet me, and they would say that I am a good person, I listen to people, I am always ready to help people. And they said that may be your core strength, and maybe you are supposed to be a healer. But I didn't agree to that, because I felt I need to first completely heal myself, and then can I come out and speak about who I am and bring what is required. And I didn't even know what I would like to bring. And when I left my corporate job in this manner, I was helping a friend with a healing festival, and that's when I met a healer who said that you need to write. And I had absolutely no clue what I have to write. And so I met another friend that evening, and the next year, that evening itself, and I said, see, I've got another person who says I have to write, but I don't know what I have to write. So she guided me to this very well-known healer and a channeler in India, Nan Umbrikar. And she said, speak to her. She's a great channeler, and maybe she'll help you with your channeling. So I call her up the next morning. First thing, I call her up and I say, my friend gave me your number and I am supposed to do channeling, and I guess you're going to teach me. And she says, who are you? So I said, I introduced myself. Then she said, have you read my books? I said, no, I haven't. I just came to know about you less than 12 hours ago. So she said, pick up my book, Sound of Silence, read it, and then come back to me. So I started reading the book, and in the book there was a mention of this gentleman called Meher Baba. And I found that very interesting. His name was very, very interesting. His things that he was doing was very, very interesting. And a friend of mine, I just wrote to her that there is something happening at this person's samadhi, because he's crossed over very, very, in 1969, if I'm correct on the date. And there is something called as a dhuni, where every month people go and put into the fire whatever they do not want. So I told my friend, see, it's Saturday, do you want to go? So she said, yeah, let's go. And that's when I went to the samadhi, the shrine of Meher Baba. And I felt there were some things that happened where I was asked, I went to the shrine, I kept my head on the shrine. And the only things that started coming was that, say you will write. And I'm like, what do I write? It says, you say you will write. And I'm like, what do I write? And it would not let me move. So I said, okay, I will write. And that's where I came out from the shrine, and I sat down thinking, what am I supposed to write? So first thing I told the energy was that since I left my corporate in a bad manner, it was not that I wanted to leave, it was choice was very it was not a fair choice. It was his way or the highway. So I said I didn't like the way I left corporate, so I would like to go back to corporate, and in 6 months I will start writing. And by I came back to Bombay, and in that week itself, I was offered a job which I had interviewed some 5 months ago, without asking anything about what I needed. They just accepted the money I asked them to give, and they gave me a bigger portfolio, and I was on the job. And the first thing that I had to go to Pune in India, in Maharashtra, in the place where I live. I had to go for my training, and the lady who had spoken to, she lives there, and I was like, oh my God, she lives right there. So I call her up and I say that I finished reading your book. I added to it, I went to the shrine to meet Meher Baba, and now I am here for training. Can I meet you? And she said, yeah, you are supposed to come and meet me. Come. And I went to her place, and then she explained to me the type of channeling, and I identified for myself as a channeling with my higher self. And she had the book right there with her for writing. So I said, I need to write, right? So I'm going to take this book and I'm going to start writing. And every day I would write. First, I started writing in English. Whatever I felt was coming through. Then my hand stopped writing. I couldn't write anymore with my right hand. Then I started writing with my left hand. Again, I was writing in English. And then it stopped writing in English, and I started scribbling, or I started doodling with my left hand. And then I saw symbols coming up, I saw words coming up, I saw sentences and frame. All these started coming up. And that's when I realized that by the time I realized that I'm ready to write properly, my company was taken over by a very big very big collaboration, and I was the highest paid employee. So, so they said, now the structure has changed, and Zeenat, we will have to ask you to leave. And I just smiled at them and I said, I only want you to pay me my 3 months salary, and I will not come to work. And they said, yes, you work from home and nothing, you don't have to come to work at all. And during those 3 months, I set up Soul Search, and I realized that I had learned, I had done a session in sacred geometry once, and what was told to me is that you have to combine sacred geometry, you have to bring in the light codes, what you're writing, that is what you are supposed to be writing, and you're supposed to be using colors and sound. So that's how my journey began. And the day I started making grids for people, the personalized grids and non-personalized grids, in a matter of 9 months, I did around 100 grids for people. And then I was asked to stop doing that. And then I was given a different direction. And then I was given a different direction. So I just go with the direction that comes to me.
So you think these are higher beings, or is it your higher self that's giving you these directions?
So in last 2 years, I have come to an understanding that I do not belong to this cosmos, the Milky Way. I don't belong to this Milky Way. I don't belong to the cosmos. I come from a different cosmos, and I came here with it was the call of the earth. If I have to put it out, it was the call of the earth, and I was sent to respond to this call. So I'm here, and therefore I understand that what messages I bring or what work I bring is a combination of my higher self that is connected to the cosmos from where I belong to, and in association with various star beings, star gateways, multidimensional layers, I work through. And I feel that most of my work, even though it is for the earth, I work a little differently. So the nuances is different. And yeah, that's what I feel.
Is that universe you come from, is it a higher consciousness universe?
Yes. It's a
Hmm.
different cosmos, completely a different cosmos. It's not even the universe because we have the galaxy's universe cosmos. And then comes another, there is a gap, and then there is the starting point of that cosmos. And there are multi cosmoses around, and I come from one of them.
What's
And the
it like?
cosmos doesn't, I'm sorry.
What's it like there?
When I interact over there, I meet people who are non physical. And then there are, for my ease, when I go in as consciousness, for my ease, sometimes they show up in a silhouettes, and sometimes they show up as a human face. Um, and there is one big, huge structure that I work with. And yeah, so it's more water based, more there is, and definitely there is the earth element over there, but it's more water, and it works in a very different setup. It is not the configuration of that place is a little different to that of our earth.
A lot of love and light.
I'm sorry.
A lot of love and light.
Oh, so it's sometimes when I am visiting, it's just it's just as is. So it's very when if I give it a name, I will be distorting it. So
Mm, mm.
it's an experience. So giving it a name will distort it, and but it's an experience. It's a feeling.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so will you want to start with a little light language?
Yes. I think let's bring in the vibrational frequency to set up for us to ground and align ourselves. Kulakata eta ulana hasha kita lulukutala. Inakatala ke uturukutanata. Gentle, gentle breath in and out. Tukuyatala yo turukutulurukutuno kutupakatapiyatana ke tulurukutuno katapikatipikatulurukutuno kutarakita. Garakati ito lutut itati itati unakata ata ala rakata ito tuturukutana kata. Karapa hatapikatu itarakata palarakata pikatulurukutu rakata. So kalara ya tulurukutani katalarikit ututurukutana kata. Alamela tipilari kitalali tulututupikatapalarakata pikatulurukuta. Marapakata pikatulurukuta pakatilarakata palarukutu nukutulurukutu pakatapikatulurukutu pakatapallarakata. Purapakata pilarakata pikatulurukutu pakatanikata pikatulurukutu itarkata idarakatiliri titatutu shina namakata pakatalarakit ukutulurukuta makitu kuturukutu nukutu. Gamakata pikatulurukutu pakatay itakatala kutululutu tilalanananananananakatu. Urapata pikatulurukutu pakatulurukutu nukutarakata. Ishata payoto rokuto pakata pikatulurukutu makata pikatulurukutu makatulurukutu pakata ikatalarakut ukurakata pakatalarakati ikatalarakatu nukutulurukuta nakata karakata rakata 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 purakata kata titiktiktikrukutu kurukutu nakatarata hasha kata. So there is a lot of work actually that is being done on your spinal cord right now. And while I was trying to tell you that it was continuous flow of energy on your spinal cord, and it's like the rakatapala rakata. There are fascias that are getting aligned and realigned. So there is a lot of change in the ganglias for you.
In the
So
what region?
I could see here in this area and
Oh,
the
oh,
entire nervous system,
wow.
your back.
So I broke out a windshield when I was in high school with my face, and I have a
Okay.
torn ligament, or not torn ligament, torn vein or nerve right here.
That's exactly where they were working. Because I could just see your entire nervous system, and the ganglias over here was I can still see them. They are like literally but they are better. As I see that their energy is much better.
Yeah, yeah, I felt a rush of energy through it, which is
Yeah.
it's often kind of a blockage, and yeah. Wow.
Correct.
Oh my God. So I was just thinking, because I've listened and interviewed a lot of people who do light language. There's one thing in the 3D realm. of the brain, that fast of a rhythm is an alpha frequency.
Okay.
So it's putting the brain into an alpha state. But uh, but then of course there's the energy behind it, which is a whole nother deal. Oh my God, right? And so there's something about going that fast for people to be that present, to actually be present enough to really listen to that much detail is a whole nother state of consciousness. Right?
That's true.
Which it's really creating a state of presence to open it up to another realm. That's the way I would explain it in the 3D realm. Yeah.
So sometimes I have clients who say that, you know, it's your the frequency is such that I cannot listen. So I tell them put it on mute. You don't listen because it's cognitive, it's cognition for you to calm your cognition down. Allow, keep it on mute because I know for the fact it is still working on you. And that's
Uh-huh.
more important because it is energy and it does not have to be always heard. It still does its work without you being aware. Only your willingness to do it is the, it's like go ahead, do it.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind you doing that.
You know, I
So
just realized that the left brain can't figure out what's going on.
yes.
It's too much information. The left brain goes, yeah, right, I give up. Go for it, right brain. Take over, right brain. And you get really high. And that opens you up to another realm because now your left brain's not doing the thinking thing because it's like, this is just way too much.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So also when I started writing, uh, you can say I'm ambidextrous because I light language I write with my left hand and geometry I do with my right hand. And
Hmm.
there are certain things for which I use both my hands. So when I, in my initial time of doing the work, I would bring in my cognitive mind. So I would look at, oh, the red color must go with the blue or the green because that's the way it is supposed to be. And then I would see that I would have to tear the whatever I have created because I would have made an error. And I would again go back to it. And then one day I decided that if red has to go and pair it up with black, then so it is. And that's when the right brain was completely active and bringing in the language, bringing in the energy, and the left brain said, I will take a beat, let me rest. And I see myself whenever I am trying to prepare for something, and that's my left brain wanting to prepare because the perfection comes in, and the right brain, when the interview starts or when I am starting with my group calls, my left my my left brain goes completely off and my right brain has taken over and I don't know what I've done. And I'm like, okay, so it is.
Well, you know, I have to tell you, I've got so many things that use the exact colors that you have in your background.
Oh, okay.
I've got a lamp that actually has a candle, and the whole lamp is exactly that combination of colors. It's really,
Wow.
I'm really always drawn to that combination of kind of teal and pink and such.
Oh yes, the mauve,
Yeah,
the pink,
yeah.
it's so beautiful.
So, okay, so you work physically, and then you
uh,
work mentally and
yes,
emotionally and spiritually.
yes, yes,
So
I cover all spectrum.
you kind of did a little physical on me, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, how would you work mentally?
Mukataya tale fula hapara kata pelare katum ni kata pala hishakat utun kata pakati ikkalala katun kutala tekatakata rakatur kutur kutaraka parapakata pikatulurukuta. So wherever it is that you may have knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously caught into an idea of something, which you know that needs to be changed, and wherever it is that you find it a resistance in doing so, will you give yourself the permission to release that resistance now? Yes or no?
Yes.
Kumakat ita la lilo ko tanak may katapilalu ko tapiya to ni katapi to sila katapalara ko tayo tara katapalara ko may katuluro ko tamak katalara ko tamak katalara ko to karapay katuluro ko tapik ita ti katuluro ko tamak tapik katuluro ko tapak iti kata ko nakatapakat ita ti lalo to tala siya takata nakatala kati katuluro ko to ni na katuluro ko to no katuluro ko tanakata. So actually I can see the energy from the right side of the brain moving into the left and the left moving into the right, and there is no more divide, there is no more, you can say, stagnation, there is no more it's the unity, the unison that is required for you to create more and more, going beyond the veils of beliefs, the point of view, judgment is the facade of the mind, and so clearing that now lara ko no ko to akatar ke to no ko ta kata karakata pika to luru ko to perkati ek karakata maka to ko to perkati pika lara ko ta arakata maka to luru ko to no ko ta krapa kata pika to luru ko to perkati lara kata maka ta lara kata arakati ikku ko to no ko to huru ko tanata hasha hana hana kata gentle breath in and breathing it out. Okay.
Wow. So I just had 2 weeks ago a blood clot in my sinuses.
Okay.
That got in the way, I think, of my third eye, and especially my third eye, and created like a whole headache. It's mostly cleared up now, but it was interesting when immediately I felt the energy going up through there to open up the whole top half of my head.
So they started with your frontal, and then they moved, and then they just aligned it, basically. The energy aligned it for you. God bless you. Thank you for receiving it.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Okay. So then probably the biggest problem in humanity is our emotional body. It's kind of just a mess. It's just it's a freaking roller coaster.
It's the stuckness of the past. And the point of view of the past, and the recreation of the past into the present, into the now, and the fear of the future. And that is what echoes. No matter how many lives you take, it is still echoing. And that is the idea that you need to forgo. Katapo namutame kato otala amale hadara pelara kata atapisalara and you are your ancestor tamakotolorukota, and so you carry their memories. Tamakotolorukota nakata elorukota you carry your memory. Alamukotopayata etoshalarukota nakata, and so is the fatigue tarapukotolorukota makata, and then is the disconnection. Nakata, and that's where the depletion. And so you create your traumas, and so you create your stress, and so you create your unresolved patterns. So it's like they are clearing. Will you give yourself the permission to let it go now? Yes or no?
Yes.
And it's like, actually it's like a sweep that is happening, and there are tears in the aura due to not only torupukata physical but also emotional tear. Tapaketa pe otolotuti atala pe edemiketa lukata pa atape etarigoto lurukutana kata. And so it is stitching it up, if I have to see. It's like it brings it together and it becomes a single unit. So also there is so much that is for you to create. And so much for you experience. And so much that needs to be worked around. And why not? And why not? God bless you.
Oh my God. Okay, so once you've cleared the emotional body, go to presence.
Yes.
But then from presence, you go into spirit and to the energy of your soul,
Yes.
right? Because I think,
Yes.
okay, if you're not enveloped in all this past of the emotional body, worry about the future and everything, then you're just present. Where are you going to go? You go into spirit and source, and I mean, that's the only place to go, right? I mean,
Yes.
or just, you can just be present in the moment. It's kind of cool. It's not bad. But to open up the whole realm of source and soul is then. Mhm.
The key to it is only the key. It's like the answer to all is the trust. And
Oh,
the trust of this present moment for it to be true, and that this present, this what it is going to be the past or the future, whatever, wherever you go, but the trust of it.
that's
I think that's.
Oh my God. So it was about 5 years ago that I really shifted and got the main message that it's all taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that takes away all fear, all anxiety. It's like it's all taken care of. And really, that's what I hear you saying.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So I've been interested in finding the frequency of a person's soul.
Okay.
I often think the soul is, it's got to be a frequency because everything's a frequency. So the soul is a pure frequency of you that carries your energy from lifetime to lifetime. You've got the information around it, which is like a harmonic structure, almost a sacred geometry structure that's either dissonant from past lives or
Yeah.
more beautiful, and you can
Yes.
work that. And the soul frequency that's carried from lifetime to lifetime is also connected to source, which is all frequencies.
Yes.
So, so I've been looking at, because I know how to find the physical body frequency.
Okay.
We
Wow.
play each of the 12 notes. You're probably around a B flat or so, or very similar to me. I bet you are. You're probably the same as me. You might be even an A, possibly. Uh,
Okay.
okay. And then there's the frequency of love, which mine's a D. And then there's the frequency of your voice, the key that you sing in.
Yes.
And then there's your soul frequency. And I used to think the soul was the body frequency, but people intuitive say no, it's actually a different frequency. They say mine is D sharp.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And that
That's awesome.
chord creates something really interesting. So what is your thoughts about soul and connecting to soul? Because Alice Bailey says the whole deal is to build the bridge to the with the Antakarana to the soul and have it be the leader of your whole system.
So, what I have been shown is that as we got, let's as I it was explained to me very beautifully that when the source wanted to experience something in that moment, and that experience required you to contribute to that experience, is when you left the soul, from you left the source, and then in your journey down you started fragmenting, and by the time you cross the bridge you have forgotten. So I love a saying, and this is one of my favorite from Plato: man, you were God but you forgot. That's my favorite. And and considering I don't remember many things, I remember this one so distinctly, right? The man, you are God but you forgot. and and when I heard this explanation with one of the person, a lady I was working with, I could actually see it happening, and I could see the number of fragmentation that happened while I came down. And I didn't come down directly into a human form. I myself moved from energy, and I was just the energy moving from spaces. When I moved from my cosmos and I came into the cosmos of this Milky Way, I was just moving into spaces. And that's where also the fragmentation started happening, because there was the desire then to know. And that knowing got me into the Acturian galaxy, the Andromeda galaxy. And from the Andromeda galaxy is when I started incarnating or coming into beingness. So while the soul starts moving into so many directions, it remembers everything. However, when it takes a denser form of a human body, because that's an experience which is of a different nature, it tends to forget, or its commitment is to forget, because that's when you cross the bridge. And as you cross the bridge, that is on the Acturian gate. And when I have worked in the Acturian gate as the gatekeeper, when I've processed souls to come to earth, I see how that fragmentation becomes even more gross. And by the time you are in the womb, you still have your purpose, but the minute you are out, it's gone. It's like that's why you cry, because, oh my God, it's the grief, it's the pain of separation.
Mm.
So the separation, becoming a human, the separation itself creates a lot of anxiety. The separation creates the fear. That is the separation that creates the need to be and to belong. And that is why the root chakra is the chakra that is first developed. And it starts developing in the mother's womb for you. And it is absorbing all the separation that you will experience once you are out of the mother's womb. And that's where your insecurities are pronounced, and that's where your fear is pronounced. And that's why you look at your parents as the only existence, because you are going through an existential crisis yourself. So you look at them that this is the only one that can save, because otherwise you're going to die. And when we leave the source and we travel through, one of the biggest things that we let go of is trust. Because that is the makeup of this planet. The 3D world exists in this, its existence is dependent on us to forget. Its existence is because we don't trust. And this is one of the biggest things that we as human, over a period of time, will realize, and we will be teaching our generations to come to trust, because that's all that is required.
So building the bridge I've been reading a book from the Palladians actually that says that,
Okay.
we have like only two strands or so many strands of DNA that has been cut back to
Yes.
disconnect us from the 12 strands which connect us to source. And so, but it's seeping back in.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So the more when the DNA starts, when you hear the language or when you see the language, when I write or when I speak the language, what it does is that it goes and activates. So we have two strands which are active strands. Rest 10 strands are dormant. In these two strands, we are only using 10% of it. 90% is not even touched because we are so engrossed in the lower vibration that we don't, by the time we are allowing ourselves, we are almost going to be dying. So we are only functioning in one lifetime is only with the 10%. So when I start working with your DNA or when I start writing the codes actually just go directly into your DNA through the energy into your bloodstream and into the DNA, and it reconfigures your DNA. So you will start experiencing or manifestation as one of the tangible things. You will start seeing that your manifestation is becoming better and better. So your thinking and things are happening is because your DNA, because you are moving away from the fear-based energy into the abundance energy. You're moving from the lack to knowing and trusting.
Oh my
So,
God. Okay. So
okay.
how about this? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do a meditation or language for the whole group to
Okay.
trust
All
and
right.
to ultimately build the bridge, but not just the group, the whole planet.
All right. Why not?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Why not? The whole universe. Let's go for it.
Mo la 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 hika hesha semakuta la la pakatipi e namana na kutuluruko. Mama kata hata mi utunukuta hanang makata la mi kitulurukuta makata ni kitulurukuta. So calling upon all the angels, archangels, ascended masters, tamakula da pakata, all the light beings, tamakata la rakata mokotulurukuta, the council of light, tamakata la rakata makata of across tumukutu gateways, starways, mukuta pakata pe lalika danakata, alana kata lalakata, and all the councils of different star gateways, the Palladians, the Acturians, the Vega, the Lyra, the Orion, and everyone who are standing protecting this earth are now sending in the wave of trust energy to each and every Lamakata larukuta larakata pikito lurukuta makata larakata makata listeners abalarakata nakata yukuta lurukuta your lineage tamakata palarakata now and forever kamakata palarakata makata, and all of them receive this now. Kamakata pakata larakata unukuta lurukuta makata pikita larakata pakata palarakata unukuta palarakata makata pakata rakata. The dragon energy is also coming in to support. Lamakata palarakata mukuta lurukuta, and with the dragon energy comes lamakata palarukuta mukuta lurukuta makata, the energy of the snake as it starts shedding descaling, and as the dragon energy moves around the entire globe, all the council members standing around the earth hara hara rara turuku 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 tarakata ikataraka tunuku turuku turuku takapta ararti turuku 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 kumakatabe adanakatabe turuku turuku tanaka turuku 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 tanaka tapakatanakta Nanarka toluruku tonuku toluruku tanmaka talarika tonuku toluruku tapaka tarika talarika tamaka taraka tanaka toruku 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 tonuku toruku tonuku toruku tanaka taraka tanakata alaraka taraka 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 toruku 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 toluruku 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 tonuku taraka tikiti taraka tonuku toruku tonuku toruku 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 tam Kuraha ina nila kata o kata pekata lara kuta ita rakati ko to no kuta rakata rakata karakati ko to no kuto tama kata pekata loro kuto makata pekata kata rakati ri to loro kuto no kuta nakata kata nana kata nata tu rahe shane kete yo dono kuto pa kata pekata loro kuto makata palara kata mi kata upara patak pa kuto pakata rakata makata no kuta إيه لرا دي دولورو كتي يلا را كتا بكتا بلارا كتا ما كتا لورو كتا بكتا بلارا كتا ما كتا بلارا كتا ما كتا إيو أرا را 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 ما ukutu puru kutu puru kutu puru kata ma kata pakata lara kata mi kata loro kutu ru kutu ru kutu nu kutu ru 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 kutu nu kutu ru kutu nu kutu ru kutu nu kutu ru ahara hasa ina kata pe e Waharahara hasa kita begitu. Oh. Namun kita pa ara kati piki ukululu kuta maki e. Nimi ela u kota naha kiti. Naha kiti, naha kiti, naha kiti. Usha kita anama wala ti mi kita uputa ni mo kota. Mungo la na kata pe e kita pe koto ututu koto no kuta aki. Wa aki da ke to oto no kuta ma i kita umo koto lulu koto mo kuta ma ki ti mi kita kota ma kita pe kita lulu koto mo kuta lara kete ke. Jassano kata. Barupata yata namu koto lulu koto jassano kata pakata lara kata nata. So gentle breath in and breathing it out. Kurakata eta e nakata lara kata nata. Murahata makata pakata lara kata nata. So the energy is also flowing into our water and changing the configuration of the water. So when you drink this water, it's less contaminated. And as our body is 80% water, it realigns with you further. And so there are the dolphins and the whales singing into the water. Tohasha and nakatapi ulu todo koto ta terkatapi ketu ta. Gentle breath in and breathing it out. Giving gratitude to all the energy present, contributing, creating, expanding, healing. Vato oshatsa etati keto totoro kotanata. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay. So where does love and universal love come in?
So they say is that to ask this question, it's something that it's supposed to be like the breath. So you don't explain the breath, you don't explain the oxygen. So why do you need to explain this? It is again the cognitive mind needing tangibility to things. When you show kindness to yourself, when you give attention, when you hold yourself, you not only bring the love, you bring in the universal love. We are spending as humans so much time trying to understand something that is always there. Mute eto no kota, puta ete peketo. And every time humans try Buddhaparakata nakata, competing menu lalape eto no kota larata to get the answer, matamai keto lorukota nata, to begin, why is there a question? Miketo uto no kota esse no kota rata, imiketo uto heshese keto no kota. One hate heshese. And Ela Keto, and as your blueprint and your template starts awakening, this question will cease to exist.
What I often think of is ways to use the mind to lead us to the edge of the branch of love and cut it off so we can use the mind to lead us out of the mind into love. So we can say, okay, here's the frequency of love for you. You could use that as a portal to get back out of your mind into love. Or you could use, a technique to bring universal love into your thymus down into your heart, or from your crown into your heart, and that way you can at least use that technique to transition back in and use the mind to get you out of your mind.
So what I have, because I'm a very cognitive person, I like to have a lot of reasoning. I love reasoning. Because if it doesn't make sense to me, there is, the logic has to be there, and therefore the perfectionism comes through. What I have over a period of time seen that our desire to align the mind, sometimes the mind is here with its own purpose. So everything has a purpose. So if I'm trying to get my mind to align to it, it will start resisting, because its understanding is very different. So if I allow the mind to do what it's meant to do, and when I bring myself, or I bring that energy of I, me, and self, that I am going to be kind to myself and I am going to be present for myself, I have seen that the mind automatically starts aligning with it. And that's been my experience. So what I do with my mind is that if I have to go through a situation, when I go through a situation, I ask is, how does it get any better than this? And the mind then starts finding the way to get better. So I may be in any situation. If it is a good situation, I ask again, how does this get any better than this? The mind says, okay, we need to get something more better for her. And this has really helped me, because in my sleep sometimes, if I'm going through some things in my sleep, I just start asking for the question, how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? What else is possible for me? And I see that when I am in this dialogue with the mental, with the mind, with the intellect, it is starting to get me a different based answer, not a fear-based answer. Because if it comes with a fear, oh, you're not going to succeed. And my question back to that question is, to that answer that I've received, my question is, but how does it get any better than this? So if there is going to be fear, how does it get better than this? And the mind says, okay, we have to get another fear-based answer for her, but there is not enough. But how does it get any better than that? Because if not enough, then how does it get any better than that? So it's an interesting conversation sometimes I find myself having with myself. And I have seen over the years, it's a acquired communication. It's an acquired way of assessing and living. And it has taken me time. It's taken me, and I am a continuous work in progress. So I have to continuously do this, because the mind can really get into that fear-based energy very quickly.
Right.
We can move from one earth to the other.
It's interesting. The main mission I've given my mind is service, which is very similar to how can it be any better than this? It's how can it be any better than this for everybody, right? It's like,
Absolutely.
okay, just you do that and I'll do the love.
That's really nice.
Oh my God, it seems it's so important though, because the message that you said about trusting and knowing that it's all taken care of, when that happened for me, everything changed. All the
Awesome.
fear went away mostly. It still seeps in. I'm human, right?
Absolutely.
Right, right. But it's drastically different. It's drastically different. Oh, excellent. Okay, so what would you like to leave people with?
Tamakut ate etelato tan titikata. Mukuta tapo tanata. So the word that is coming through is silence.
Mm.
Mm. Kum manakata pe kutulurukuta. In so much of distraction, and every minute that whenever you're looking at any devices, there is only communication and communication and communication. Even when you're not talking, somebody is talking to you. And so when you bring in the silence, and silence comes through the awareness. And everything is taken care of when you are in the state of awareness. Tamu ate ate lalokata namakata larata. Palape keto lanamakata ilala kotonokota. Flows through is your divine intelligence. Eme ke ote eke uta lanana ko o korukuta. Makaranara katalarano korukuta. Sarato and Sarato comes in coherence. Tariketo comes in the flow to Korokota and comes in the connection. Emeketoloro te eshe seketa. Eteo torokoto, and all you need is silence. Mukuta ashe sekioto nokota. Yes, that's what comes in.
I have no more to say.
Thank you.
We could just hang out here for another half hour with just in stillness. We'll just be silent.
It's the most difficult thing to achieve in this day and time and in this moment.
Ah, sound is so good. Just here we go. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so
Just
happy to be here. Thank you.
what a pleasure. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
I really like the fact that you're a ideal balance of left and right brain. Because a lot of people say, oh, we got to get out of our left brain and only do the right and just trust and be intuition, which is good. But it's like when you activate both, then the left brain doesn't get in a trap because it knows how to work at things better and not get stuck. And then now you can work the two together, and it's the way God meant. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
The balance.
Thank you. Yes, the balance.
Yeah. Blessings.
God bless you too. Thank you very much.
Take care.
You too. Take care. Bye bye.